Hey you guys, this is Jess with Sourceful Journey back with another video. So I'm going to do a quick little chit chat with you guys. It's more so about a song from several decades back. It was a song by Phil Collins called In the Air Tonight. I want to kind of give you guys a bit of a different way of kind of like reflecting on it, because I truly feel that it is always about perception. And there were so many different stories that came out in reference to what could have been the true meaning behind the song, until he finally came out and gave us details on what the song was really about. I think that is very telling, especially when you read the lyrics, because you get a sense that let's just go ahead and just jump right into the video here. Okay, In the Air Tonight. So I've heard so many different variations over the years that this was about someone or him helping a homeless person, or maybe him having this conversation with someone who was not a good pal to him. You hear so many different variations of what this song could truly be about. It was about maybe, I think a few years ago, he actually was on the set of the Jimmy Fallon show. I'm gonna make sure to put a link in the description box below so you guys can see it. But he actually expressed to Jimmy what the reasoning was behind the song. And it was because it was right at a time he was getting out of a bad divorce with his ex. And if I'm not mistaken, his ex's name, what's her name? Andrea Bertarelli. Oops, almost butchered that. Andrea Bertarelli. So he was getting out of a bit of divorce, and that's when his emotions began to spill out, and that's when this song came to life. So it was interesting because I'm gonna look at some of the lyrics here too. He said, "I can feel it coming in the air tonight, oh Lord. And I've been waiting for this moment for all my life, oh Lord." And to kind of go down here, where he said, "Well, if you told me you were drowning, I would not lend a hand. I've seen your face before, my friend, but I don't know if you know who I am." Like, even that part alone, you can kind of see how that might be something that's aligned with maybe him talking with a friend, or maybe someone who was dear to him, like maybe a spouse, an ex-spouse. So I guess I can see some correlation there. But I personally feel that this song could be applied in another aspect as well. Let me explain. Think of it from the perspective of maybe one having an inner battle with themselves in terms of their ego, right? Try to think of it from that perspective, and how that in some way could be maybe one having an inner battle or an inner conversation with their ego, if you will, as far as the self-doubting, the negative thought processes, things like that. Imagine having that type of dialogue within self with your ego, and trying to stay highly vibrational, right? I remember when I actually took that perspective into focus, and then to go back and read the lyrics, I was like, wow, this could possibly apply to that thought process as well. Let's face it, we all have inner ego issues that we deal with, that we battle with daily. Even for some of us who are in the spiritual space, we still deal with them too. We're human, right? Spiritual being having a human experience. It's just what it is. It's just how the game goes. But the good thing about it is because we get better with it. We get better when it comes to combating the ego issues at hand. And even if you're one that seems to be doing fairly well, and in terms of spiritually, emotionally, just in terms of your day-to-day existence, you still can have a few moments where the ego likes to try to slip in. And the funny part in all of this is that even with us who are within this space, we know when it starts to rear its little head and how to cut it out immediately. So my take on it in terms of from a spiritual perspective is that, you know, he's basically saying that, you know, well, if you told me you were drowning, I would not lend a hand. Because think about it, when it comes to the ego, why would you want to have that same thought process, that 3D, excuse me, not 3D. Why would you still want to have that 3D mindset and welcome it in to stay? The focus is to get out of that way of thinking into more of a positive perspective. And he said, I would not lend a hand. I've seen your face before, my friend, but I don't know if you know who I am. You know, it can be safe to say that when it comes to that, it's just his way of, like, you know, saying that you're no longer welcome here, to put it plainly. I don't know, for me, I've always been a huge Phil Collins fan. I've always loved a lot of his music. Like, you should see my playlist, it's insane. I've always loved that type of music. But it's always funny when you go back and you listen to some of the older songs and the lyrics behind some of these songs, and you're like, wow. Listening to it like maybe a second or third time or so, you realize it's not what you initially thought. Or you try to look at it on a deeper scale and you come to realize, like, wait, this could possibly apply to this type of scenario as well. Things to make you say, So, I don't know. I encourage you guys to, like, listen to that song if you haven't done so. You know, if you've never heard of it, or if you listened to it but you haven't heard of the song in a few years. You know, maybe you've had a chance to, like, listen to it on the radio or maybe on YouTube. Take some time out to listen to it. Listen to the lyrics again. And think of how that could actually be something that could be applied to your own everyday existence. I know for me, I think, again, being a spiritual being, having a human experience, when you think about the ego, I could see that being a type of song that can be in correlation with that too, with one battling their ego when it comes to their spiritual journey. That's the point I'm trying to drive home here. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts about that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. You can also leave comments in the comment section below or on my other platforms that you guys have been. Definitely keep that going. I love the interaction we have, the dialogue, and emails. I wanted to point that out. Emails, you still can email me too. Consultations are still open. And again, thank you guys for being on top of it when it comes to being on time for your consultations. That always helps. Keep that going. But yeah, I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts. I think for me, knowing the initial reason behind the song and knowing the type of passion he put into it, you could just feel it. Like, I don't know how you guys are when it comes to, like, listening to certain music, whether it's someone singing or playing a certain instrument. You know how you can kind of feel the emotion behind something? Like, I felt like when I listened to that song, that's why I actually saved it to my playlist. I actually purchased it. Because I remember every time I heard it, like, feeling that pain, regardless of, you know, who he was talking about at the time. I felt that pain behind it, especially when he was playing that part in reference to the drums. You know, I think he was playing, at one point he did a D minor, if I'm not mistaken. That alone spoke volumes within itself, because D minor is the lowest tone. It's like the how should I describe it? It's more of the, I would say, like, the saddest key of them all when it comes to the tone. That, yeah, certain parts of the song just really, like, hits your core when you listen to it. You have to listen to it to know what I'm talking about. Another group that was known for doing this, And I'm a huge fan of them also. Oh my gosh, there's so many, but I love Journey. Yeah, so Journey is another one. The lead singer, he's phenomenal. But a lot of the songs that he sung, or even his guitarist, you could hear like certain instruments being played. You're like, wow, you can feel the instrument, like the emotion behind it. I remember it was, what's that one song? Take Time Out, you guys, if you haven't listened to the song. It's by Journey. It's called Who's Crying Now? And that guitar piece towards the end, every time I heard that, it just hit my core. But when you listen to it, you'll know what I'm talking about, you know. So I would say definitely take advantage of like you listening to those pieces, and then you'll see what I'm referring to. So I won't make this long, but yes, as always, you guys, I am definitely sending you with love and light, and I will see you in the next video. Be blessed, you guys.